Hello and welcome to this edition of Nice Try for the Fans. This is me, Elle, joined as usual by your favorite rugby podcaster. Yes, it's Timothy Joshua Smith. Hello.
What do you do?
Timothy, this is going to be a short one. I know we say that every time, not to the listeners, amongst ourselves we say it's going to be a short one. But this one is going to be because we don't have any Springbok matches to preview, and that's generally where all of our strength and passion and fury goes. But this weekend we're all on a bye along with the players, but we are going to look back at their closing match. That was of course when they met with Tonga last weekend, the last match of the weekend. We will look back at that match, we will highlight just some of the others, and then we will talk to you about week 4, the last weekend, the roundup. Things are really heating up before the knockouts, but we're feeling good because despite lots of talk and mathematical
Spreadsheets.
yes, we're feeling safe. I'm feeling safe. You're feeling safe?
This has the feeling of the Titanic before. It's like
no.
this ship will never sink.
Oh, don't.
But
Don't say
obviously
it.
I don't think it's likely to happen. Feeling very comfortable,
Yeah.
confident.
Good.
Yeah, I think the bye actually is perfect.
Perfect timing.
You want it, in between your group stage games and then your knockout games, which came at a very good time for us.
Yes, especially after that brutal physical war against Tonga. I mean, it was probably my favorite match of the group because of the spirit of the game. The Tongans, the South Africans, there's such lovely respect between the two teams, but it was tough. It was tough on the bodies. And so, yes, like you said, great timing. For those of you who are wondering about Pool B and its makeup at the moment, all we need as Springbok supporters, what we need to happen is nature to take its course, really. Because it's something that is unlikely. Scotland needs to beat Ireland with a bonus point, and South Africa are still through. Scotland needs to beat Ireland but not get a bonus point, and Ireland still get a you see what needs to happen? It's impossible. I can't even tell you.
I think from the permutations that I've seen, there's only one scenario
Yes.
that South Africa can't make it.
Yes.
And it's exceedingly unlikely.
Yes, because it's Scotland beating Ireland with something massive.
21 or more.
That's it.
And Ireland need to score a losing bonus point with 4 tries.
Yes.
So, we can shut it up.
I just don't see, I'm basing this on what we've seen so far in the World Cup, and I don't see that happening. And there's been talk in press conferences about an agreement that could be made, which would of course amount to match fixing.
I'm not even aware. I mean, I know the Cricket World Cup is taking place. But I'm not aware of any sort of match fixing taking on at least on a grand scale.
Yeah,
in
not
rugby.
the way the ball bounces.
No ways.
You can't.
It's too. Hey, let me not say
Yes,
anything.
no.
But it's unlikely.
Yes, although, some people might say it's a World Cup where strange things have happened and miraculous things have happened and unlikely things have happened. One of those things is, of course, something that is happy, sad, bittersweet, and all of those kind of paradoxes. That match with Tonga, I'm completely content with it, except, of course, for one thing. The loss of the winner of the Golden Boot from 2019, Makazole Mapimpi. He was injured by almost the same tackle that took out Antoine Dupont, except different consequences, shall we say. But that, of course, meant Lucanio is back in France, and what a welcome he got.
Yeah, I saw the videos. It looked like we won the World Cup. Seems like he's definitely a team favorite. Yeah, it was good to see him back. That strapping, someone said he's got more strapping on the knee than the mummy. So hopefully he's in, fine fiddle. I don't think the team would have brought him back if they weren't expecting him to contribute in some way. And I think, like I said, we need to trust the coaches. Pollard came back, first game in since May, and put up quite a good performance. So I think I mentioned in the earlier shows, it's more about the system.
Yes.
And I think that's why they're prioritizing people that have been with the squad and are familiar with what is expected.
And I know that we're on a bye, and we've talked about how this is a great time, especially for something like the reunion of Lukhanyo with the rest of his backline players. I'm excited and curious about what could come from this. Jesse, he's been doing really well, and while watching the match, of course, I didn't watch with you, Timothy, but every time Andre Esterhuizen had a beautiful moment, I was like, Timmy, show him, Andre, show him. He was solid for me. He was even a contender for player of the match.
Okay.
He would.
Maybe we watch different matches. Because I thought he had like a decent game.
Okay.
Nothing stand out.
Okay.
I'm not gonna nitpick on individual, like his individual performance.
Yes.
But I thought what he did fine.
He did his job. He was solid. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, so I have no horse in the race necessarily. I'm trusting the coaches, whoever they decide to go with. If it's Andre, if it's Damien, I'll be happy. So
Yeah.
I just feel like some people aren't giving Damien his flowers. So that's why I'm at least playing defense lawyer for him.
Now, I know you're talking about Damien Dealendi, but I want to talk about Damien Willemse. I know he didn't play against Tonga, but he was probably the only player I missed. And
Yeah,
I'm not
I can see
shading
it.
here.
But I'm happy that he
the
missed
actual fullback. Yeah, I'm happy he wasn't there to get hurt, because wow, some hits.
But he scored a great try though.
Lovely, yes, beautiful. Lovely try, Billy. Well done.
90th
It's lovely way to celebrate his 90th. But I miss Damien. That's the position that we're in, because you have someone like Damien. So it's tough to choose. We're talking about someone who can do the job and be solid like Andre Esterhuizen, but then you also have someone who's the greatest, Lukhanyo, who's waiting in the wings, but then also JC Kriel, who's rising to the occasion, and Damien Dealendi, who's also, like we call him the player of World Cups. So we are spoiled. And another area where we're seeing like for like in the exchange, Andre and Mani. Lots of people were nervous about his return, not just because of him coming from injury, but just the high stakes, high pressure scenario like a World Cup. But he is so cool and calm, and he handled himself not like someone who's only played for 30 minutes, but someone who's been part of the makeup he didn't look like he'd come from a disruption.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not talking about like we're not nitpicking. We're just going by, ticking those certain boxes.
Yeah.
And I saw somewhere someone talking about, the cool, calm presence that he brings, but then we've got the magic of Mani. And for me, I know we don't have to choose between the two of them, because it is a squad game and it's a squad campaign that we're doing, but there's very little to go off when choosing between the two of them. What did you make of the way we used them, and the timing of the replacement, and also just the overall effect on the game?
Yeah, I think Pollard, like you said, obviously we're not expecting a flawless performance. We know that Mani also has issues, and it was nice to have this in the squad, to see that Pollard, should we need to go that route, we can, and we have that capacity. So it was really great seeing him especially such a physical side like Tonga, and they weren't holding anything back. That was definitely their best performance of the tournament.
Yeah.
And Andre came through with flying colors. Like you said, he has this sort of presence about him. There's this calm, and it's not that the team is jittery when Mani's there, but I think it's just that familiarity. Yeah, he had a great performance when Mani came on. Obviously, that first kick in the corner, everyone was like, "Oh, bro, you play for all the beans, yeah."
Yes.
And he slotted it. I think it was like you couldn't put it any more in the middle than what he did. And there were talks of Pollard actually assisting him with the kicking, which I would assume would be the case, because it's seen as like this team, and there's definitely no egos that I can really think of. You think of someone like Willemse as well. He's just happy to start, really, or play.
Yes.
Right? And that's nice to understand. I know there's that advert that keeps making the rounds where they will mention the reason for playing.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, and you can see that they have each individual reasons, but ultimately it's for the country and for their family and
For
friends.
you.
Yeah, so really happy with the match. Thought it was a bit more scrappy than what we're accustomed to, at least in the World Cup, but yet again completed the job, did what we had to do. The thing that I was way more fearful about was that Eben potential yellow card.
Oh, yes. They
Luckily-
were calling for it.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Fortunately, Saina and level heads prevailed, but we've got a essentially full health squad. Mapimpi, I know Rassi has a soft spot for Mapimpi.
Yes.
In
The whole nation does, if we recall
the
the squad
jubilation,
announcement. Yes.
Yeah, I think he got the loudest cheer. I also can't point to his career, not that it's finished, but at least his career up until now, where he's ever had a bad game, where, you can really point the finger. He might have had games where he was quiet, but nothing egregious and detrimental. So having someone like that, also, he brings something else to the wing that we obviously don't have, and we specialist winger. I mean, we can play Moody there, but Mapimpi is, I think, the only Springbok to score in a final.
Yes.
Wing
Well,
at least.
yes,
Yeah.
he was the first anyway.
Yeah, so, sorry.
Forget
Cheslin as well.
Cheslin there. Sure.
No, but I just remember that closer comment.
Oh, yes. It was translated to English as put on your hats, pick up your sticks,
Yeah.
put on your jackets, we're taking the trophy home, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
remarkable.
he's an iconic player.
For sure.
And it's sad, but it's also great to see Lucanio back with the team. And I mean, who would want to be a coach? Who would want to be a Springbok coach to decide who gets to play?
Come quarterfinals, it's going to be quite the selection predicament. But we're not there yet. We still have the last round of the matches, and we literally have to wait up until the last match to know exactly the makeup of those quarterfinals, because of course that last match will be played by Fiji, who are still in with a shout. We had Australia kind of out of it.
Yeah. I
And
was
now
shocked.
there's a slim possibility. I'm not rooting for them because I'm all in for Fiji. Although I must say I was surprised this past weekend. There were two matches that surprised me. We'll talk about one because it's your favorites, Italy and New Zealand. But first, if we can just touch on Fiji. Okay, they only need 1 point against Portugal to progress into the quarterfinals. But still, there were some nervous moments right at the end up against Georgia, where I thought my dreams were being shattered. It's so bizarre because they've done so well, and I'm going, is it because of the opposition? Is it because
Yeah.
they were so well prepared and well structured, playing a Welsh game, playing an Australian game, and now that it's a little looser, or they don't have, as much video footage to prepare with or analyze? I can't explain it.
It's always the case. I think the Springboks were quite guilty of something similar. For the big games, we either get smashed or we're really going to give you a good game. But Fiji, it was so close to being tragic. but well, fortunately they managed to get the points. But yeah, I mean, this Portugal team have really shown themselves not to be a team to be, taken for granted. So you hope that that scare, at least from the Fijian side, would sort of wake them up from their slumber and that they'll see this thing through.
If Fiji lose to Portugal without a bonus point, then the Wallabies, they're through. Just like that. They don't even have to work for it this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me, that's what's happening there in Pool C. I'm rooting for them all the way, and I'm hoping that Portugal can also, just maybe they played their final.
Yeah.
Please. Although I was a bit sad for them. Some of these minnow teams just have such a lovely spirit and they play with everything. It might not necessarily be structure or skill or, the things that we're used to seeing from the top tier teams, but there's definitely something special there.
Yeah.
Pool D, on the other hand, before we get to Italy, Pool D is a little more contentious because England, they're fine at the top, they're safe. Argentina and Japan, they have a chance, and should they draw against each other, then Samoa is in with a shot. So it's a 3-horse race, but not a very likely one. So that's their final, Argentina and Japan, and there it's just whoever wakes up, because they have been the two sides that have underperformed throughout this tournament. Although Japan, they're looking a little more like themselves, I don't know if it's going to be enough for this final hurdle.
Yeah, I think Japan will only have themselves to blame if they cannot see this through. Samoa do have a very balanced team, at least, that they announced. So Poaga returns, and it's unfortunate, but they were in every single game they played. So I'm not sure, if the stars align for them. But if they can somehow squeeze their way through, that would be obviously amazing for them. Japan, like you said, they're starting to sort of get a roll on. They're seeing out games. Their kicking has been very good, at least towards poles. But I think Argentina surely.
You've been behind them all the way.
Don't cry for me.
This. Can't they do just this one solid? Oh.
Yeah, and then obviously if Argentina win with a bonus point, that could make things interesting for first and second. Should Samoa win and England get no points. So I think they would have to look at doing the job, getting over the line before they entertain thoughts of where they can finish.
Yes. So that's what we're looking forward to. Those matches. We have France against Italy on Friday, and we're going to talk about Italy because, again, same as Argentina, they've been a surprise package this World Cup, and we want to just have a quick look back at their match against New Zealand. Then Wales face Georgia on Saturday, followed by that England-Samoa match. A big one for the weekend. Ireland, Scotland. That also affects us, of course, because there are scenarios where we could end up top of the pool or out. But yeah, just we could end up at top of the pool or second based on the results there. And then Japan, Argentina, that's on Sunday. Tonga taking on Romania. It's a consolation, playing for pride. And then the final match, Fiji, Portugal. Fiji playing for that 1 point that will see them through to the quarterfinals. Italy. I did not see that coming. People were talking about an upset or a surprise. I was upset and surprised by that scoreline. I did not expect that at all. I wasn't expecting Italy to win. I just thought that they were going to compete. They were going to show up.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned that Italy have become accustomed to Northern Hemisphere team. And so they've sort of figured that equation out. But we beat them handily when we played against them, and obviously New Zealand, put on quite a thrashing. And so I think they will be disappointed. But when I saw the New Zealand team, I did mention that they have some dogs coming back,
Yeah.
and those dogs were barking.
Whoa.
And biting, and so they just aren't used to that level of physicality, it seemed like, because some of the tries that New Zealand scored,
Too easy.
Yeah, it looked like your tier 3 nation. People that just aren't ready for that intensity. And New Zealand, obviously, they always had that performance in them. I'm not going to really take much from it.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how they get on against Uruguay. I think if they can replicate something similar. Obviously, Uruguay is not on Italy's level, but I think Uruguay have the sort of game that can at least minimize. But we'll see.
They also have a grit.
Yes. I think that that grit is missing from this Italian team, and they can get away with a more expansive game against the Northern Hemisphere. But I think a good match will obviously be Italy-France. Both teams have named essentially full strength squads. Obviously Dupont's still missing, but that I feel is going to be quite an interesting match
Because these are Italy's peers.
Yes,
This is what they're used to.
exposed. They ran France very close in Italy. It was a predominantly second string team, so it will be interesting to see how they get on against France's top class players.
Those are the matches coming up this weekend. We would love to hear your thoughts. Let us know what you thought of South Africa's last match against Tonga. What are you expecting to see this weekend with these final matches? Who are you rooting for? Do you even have a B team like Timothy's Italy and my Fiji? We'd love to hear your thoughts. You know where to find us, so do get in touch. Do send those messages and thoughts through. Timothy, like I said, it's going to be short this weekend, but we can't go without talking about Scotland, Ireland. We have Sexton versus Russell. Oh my! Is it the goats going head to head? Your nemesis versus your favorite. What else can we look forward to here?
A Scotland win by 7 or more. That would be ideal. I would love that so much. But Ireland. I mean, I wish I could put the X on them and say I can't see past Ireland.
There it is. You heard it.
And hopefully, my strength comes through.
Yes.
But I mean, Ireland have dominated Scotland.
But come on, do one for the Merve.
Yeah. it's not going to be.
Unlikely? Okay.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think the intensity. Imagine being in Glasgow watching this match. There will be very few things that will be able to rival at least what the fans will be feeling. Ireland obviously are a bit more comfortable. It's not as necessary for them to go all out, but it would be nice to see Scotland push them all the way.
Yeah.
And Ireland have been using a fairly standard team. And so they have to be cautious of how they want to manage their player loads, and that will obviously could potentially play in Scotland's favour.
Oh, yes.
So I'm looking forward to particularly the last 20 or 30 minutes of this match, because that's where we'll see if Ireland's eye is too far ahead and they might, miss what's right in front of them. So I'm obviously Team Scotland. Not by the 21 points, but
enough.
Just enough. I think it would be great for them. I'm not of the opinion that if Ireland don't make it, that's good for us.
No,
I would love to see them.
Yeah,
in
we
the
will
final.
beat whoever we have to do what we have to do. It would be great.
Underdog story.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for it. It'll be great to see.
Well, that's the pick of the weekend. Scotland and Ireland. It's going to be a brutal clash, and we're hoping also to catch some secrets. You know, whatever we can learn from this encounter, and I'm sure New Zealand and France, they'll be paying close attention as well. So those are your matches that you can look forward to, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much once again for joining us, but the conversation does not end here. Get in touch with us via email, here on the podcast site, or on our YouTube, or find us on X, formerly Twitter, BSG Productions. That's what you have to search for, or Nice Try for Fans. Timothy, a great pleasure. Enjoy your viewing.
Thank you very much. We hope to get some engagement. I know what is sort of constant water cooler talk is who is going to be in our 23.
Yes.
So we'd like to also hear from you, your predictions, what Rassi and Jean might decide.
Ooh, yes.
Some are speculating that they might name the team tomorrow.
Sure.
Just as
Why not?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who we play.
I would love it. But yeah, hope to hear from the listeners, and thanks for those that have been listening.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Thoroughly enjoy your banter.
And we'll see you in the next show.
Yes, until then, this is Nice Try for the Fans.